Lyft is threatening litigation against Morgan Stanley, accusing the firm of supporting short selling. Lyft has threatened litigation against Morgan Stanley, accusing the firm of supporting short selling for investors who are subject to lockup agreements. In a letter sent to Morgan Stanley on April 2, Lyft questioned the firm about its role in helping market certain products that would help pre-IPO investors bet against the stock. CNBC, the letter was prompted by reporting in the New York Post, which said that Morgan Stanley had been selling a short product to pre-IPO investors and cited 3 sources close to the situation. Lyft asked for Morgan Stanley to be on record saying that they did not create such a product, and that they had engaged in the proper due diligence in marketing such a product. The letter, while the letter requested that Morgan Stanley respond by the end of the day on April 2, 2 sources close to the matter said that as of late Friday, the firm had yet to do so formally. Both people asked. However, a Morgan Stanley spokesperson provided a statement to CNBC, saying that the firm did. The information first reported that Lyft and its IPO syndicate had sent a letter to Morgan Stanley over its purported role in creating special instruments for pre-IPO investors to short. In the letter, Lyft said that it has the ability to take legal action against Morgan Stanley and asked that the firm turn over relevant documents in advance of potential litigation. Lyft's shares plummeted as much as 12% on their second day of trading, following their IPO debut on March 29. Some traders in Morgan Stanley's short sales were less than 1.3% of the total volume of Lyft, according to a person familiar with Morgan Stanley's operations. The single largest, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, or FINRA, which is the self-regulatory organization that patrols the banking industry, has already gotten engaged on the matter, one person with knowledge of the matter said. This may also fall. The information reported earlier that FINRA has gotten involved in the matter. The dispute also comes as a long pipeline of tech companies are waiting to make their own debuts this year. Lyft's Morgan Stanley had won the coveted role of underwriting Uber's IPO. The bankers who
Raindrop, drip, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. I keep fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.